So you've been in those Zoom meetings where there's 12, 15, 20 people on a screen, and some of them they're completely dark and blacked out, and you can't even see their face. Some of them have lighting behind them that is like a window, and it's like, every ray of the sun is coming in that window all at the same time, and they're just a shadow of themselves. They're just a silhouette. Or you've seen them where there's so much light coming at them that it is, it's kind of washing them out a little bit, which I kind of struggle with a little bit because I'm bald and this thing shines at times. You've seen those things, so a camera is kind of important. Now, today, we're going to look at four cameras. Four cameras. I've got four cameras set up here, and we're going to take a look at all four of them, and you guess which one is which. Different price ranges, one you probably already own or something really close to it. Let's just take a look. And I'm going to tell you right off the bat, none of them is a laptop camera, just the built-in laptop camera. None of them are those. These are four different cameras. So let's just get into it. So here's the four. A Sony A5400, an Elgato face cam, not the face cam Pro, just the regular face cam. A Logitech C922 that's been around forever. And you know why it's been around forever? It's not that bad to start out. And an iPhone 13 Pro Max, which I have. That's my phone. And so I have it set up doing this. So the Sony A5400, I got this on eBay because you can't buy them anymore. And I got it probably 2 years ago. You couldn't buy them 2 years ago. So, but still, it's a good camera. And so I got this about, I think a good 2 years ago. Now, if I were to get a new one today, I would replace this one. I'd get a Sony EV Z10. But they're about $800. I got this on eBay for around $350 two and a half years ago. And I'm using a stock lens. And that is what we're looking at for one of the cameras. Then there's the Elgato face cam. This is between, I want to say $120 to $170. Maybe a little higher, maybe not. But it is a really good, upgradable, nice external Ecamm. Not an Ecamm. That's the software I'm using. It's a nice external camera to use, and this is the one I take with me whenever I go on the road somewhere. I still don't use the laptop camera. Just not going to do it. The third one is my iPhone 13 Pro Max. Yes, I'm at least 2 iterations below what the most current iPhone is, and that's kind of where I stay. I wait for stuff to drop down in price, and then I get this one. And I got this one on a big deal sale when I was when it was fairly brand new. I think it's the most up to date I'd ever been at the time is when it came out, and the whole family upgraded to new phones, and I got this one, and this one is just fine for me until it isn't. But I don't know that I want to pay another $1,000 for a new phone when this one works just fine. And then there's the ever popular, been around forever, the Logitech C922. Nice budget, you get it for under $100, maybe $70, something like that. And it is the next step up from your laptop camera that's built in. So, what do these guys look at? I want you to pick a camera. You know who's playing. Okay, you've got the Sony A5400, you've got the Logitech, you've got the iPhone, and you've got the Elgato face cam. Got it? So here's two. Here's two of them. 2 out of the 4. Now, obviously, I've got the same lighting. There's a slightly different angle. So, slightly different angle. But what are they? That's the question. What are they? And I don't know which camera to look at. So I'll just look straight ahead. As I said, the lighting's the same. I can adjust the lighting and the brightness and everything like that in Ecamm software, and I've done a minimal amount of that. But here's 2 of them. Which are they? Are we looking at the Elgato and the iPhone, or the C922 and the iPhone, or the iPhone and the C9? What are we looking at? Or the Sony? Are we looking at the Sony? You just don't know. So here's 3 of them. 3 different angles. because I can't just stack them all right at the exact same place. I got them like as close as possible. That's kind of what I shot for. But here's three different ones. How do you want to look when you go on screen? How do you want to look? How do you want to look? Wait a sec. How do you want to look? How do you want to look? How do you want to look when you go on screen? And like I said, I've got to shade myself from I've tried to minimize I put both lights on, so I'm trying to minimize any kind of a shadow, and so you're seeing this, and they're all basically set the same. But how do you want to look? Let's go again. There's the four of them. You got the Elgato, you've got the Sony, you've got the iPhone, you got the Logitech C922. Now you pick which one is which. Pick which one is which. I don't have Jeopardy music to play. I'd sing the Jeopardy music, but that would be a bad idea all around. You would not like it, and I'm not going to do it. I used to think I could sing at one point, and let's just be honest, not my forte. So you just need to kind of take a look and see where these four go. So what I'm going to do while you're looking at these, now if you're watching on a phone, I'm sorry this may not work as great, but I want you to see the idea of focus. Okay, just the idea of how it focuses. Not bad. All right. Here's a third one. So you get a little idea of focus. I've given you enough time. I'm going to show you what the four are. Are you ready? And maybe you've already guessed. If you get 2 out of 4, 3 out of 4, maybe you can't get 3 out of 4. How can you get the fourth one wrong? Think about it. So here we go. There they go. So this is the Logitech right here. This is the budget one, under $100. And here's the iPhone right beside it. This is the Elgato face cam right there. And this is the one I use all the time, which you probably may have guessed, which is the Sony a5400. But the question is, how do you really want to look when you go online? Do you want to look all shiny and bright? Now, all of these can be adjusted. You can adjust the look of these in the Ecamm software, but you can only do so much. You can only do so much. Wait a sec. You can only do so much. You can do only so much. You can do it. It's possible. But you want to give your best presentation, your best look moving forward. So obviously, I'm using the Sony a5400 on a daily basis, and I just dropped the other three in here. I've got them. I take the Elgato face cam when I go on the road, and I have my iPhone with me all the time, so it's kind of a backup for all of this. But there's how the four of them look together. Obviously, same lighting, the same way we're going with all of them. I can't change the lighting for the different ones because we're all live here. But you can see the difference. You can see the difference. Now, you have to decide how well you want to look on camera. You have to decide that. And like I said, you can adjust with the Ecamm software. You can adjust any of the cameras, to a degree. But there comes some quality. I'm like I said, if I'm getting a new camera, I'm getting the Sony EV-Z10, and that's $800. So I don't have one just yet. If you want to go online, you want to go online as easily as possible, and may I suggest as cheaply as possible. So I would also almost suggest that if you have just your iPhone, just use that. If you already got one, use it, even if it's a 10 or an X or an 11 or whatever it is. But use that and make some adjustments. The point is that you go online. That's the point. Now, you want to look as good as possible. I've worked on my background over a couple of years. I've got this camera that makes me look about as good as I'm going to look as far as I'm going. So I really don't have a good reason to spend $800 on a camera. I'd like to, but I don't have a good reason to do that. So I'm using what I've got at the moment. You're thinking, Bill, all I got's my camera on my laptop. Great. Go online with that. Well, I got 60, 70 bucks. I'll pick up uh, uh, the C922 from Logitech. Great. That's a good step. That was my first webcam after just using my laptop. Okay. Then I, moved on up and moved on up, and I'm waiting a while before I move on up again. Do you need it? It makes you look pretty good. But do you need it? Here's the point. Whoops. Here's a quote by Sean Cannell, who has 2.4 million followers on YouTube, and he teaches you how to go on YouTube and do it very, very well. This is what he says, and he would know. What you say in your videos and the value, live. Let me start again. What you say in your videos and the value you give to your viewers matter more than how fancy you look. So if you go online and the shading's not right, the lighting's not right, you're not as great as you think you need to look, you still have something valuable to say. And that's the point. You have something valuable to say. So you just have to do it. You just have to go online and you just have to do it because you have something. Imagine somebody needs to hear your message and you just don't want to do it because you're afraid to go online. They miss your message. Some people need to hear what you have to say today. And that's the first point. Work out your cameras later on. Work out the look later on. The first step is that you press live or play or whatever you're going to do and go with your message. It doesn't matter how fancy you look if you don't have a message. Now, you can have the best look in the world, and if you got nothing to say, it just won't matter. But if you look kind of lousy online and things aren't quite in focus, but you have a really, really great message, people are going to listen to you. That's what they really want. So yeah, we've looked at some different cameras and how you can do it. And with the software that you can do it, that's great. However, what you have to say is more important than what camera you use. I'm looking at all 4 cameras, but I've only got the one going on here. So if you happen to be watching this on YouTube, there's a link in the description where it says ask specific questions. Now, there's a link there that'll take you to a Google form, and you ask the question. You ask the question. You ask, and I may make a video to answer your question. And that's how I'd like to do videos moving forward. Is, hey, Bill, how do you do this? Well, I can show it to you. But how do you do this? I could make a video out of it. I'd love to do that. How do you make this graphic? How do you do this in Ecamm? How did you get 4 cameras on the same screen? How did you do that? I'd love to answer those questions for you and show you how to do it. And that's down in now if you're on YouTube, that's where the description is. So just in case you're unaware, I am Bill McConnell, Easy Impact Online. It's easy. That's the point. It's easy. It's easier than you think. And I want to leave you with that. Have a great day and have something great to say. You have a message. Make it clear. Put it out there and work on the cameras later. Kind of like I'm doing. Yeah. So work on the cameras later. One step at a time. The first step is that you just go on and share your heart, share what's on your mind, and don't worry about the haters. There's going to be haters, and it just doesn't matter. You have a message. Go with that. Have a great day. Have a great week.